Title of the next section is Rationalizing. Denominators. In this section, we'll rationalize denominators, which means we'll get rid of these square roots that are in the denominator or bottom of the fraction. First question, and only question for the section, 8 and divided by square root 7 minus square root 3. In this question, we have a fraction which contains radicals or square roots in the denominator. To simplify this, we want to get rid of or cancel these square roots or radicals. In order to do that, we can multiply by a second fraction, multiplying by what's called the conjugate or opposite of the denominator. Radical 7 minus radical 3. Instead of a minus, we can have radical 7 plus radical 3. So flipping the sign in the middle from a negative to a positive, when we multiply, this will cancel out or get rid of these square roots. If we multiply the denominator by radical 7 plus radical 3, we'll multiply the numerator by radical 7 plus radical 3 also. Multiplying again straight across, 8 times the two radicals. This will be like the distributive property. Multiply 8 2 times. 8 times radical 7 would be 8 radical 7 plus 8 times radical 3 would be 8 radical 3. For the denominator of the fraction, we have two binomials being multiplied. To multiply these two, we'll use FOIL, multiplying 4 times. The radical 7 will multiply twice, and the radical 3 will multiply twice. Multiplying radical 7 times radical 7. If you multiply two radicals, we can multiply the numbers. 7 times 7 would be 49. So radical 7 times radical 7 is radical 49. Multiplying radical 7 times the outside term, which would be 7 times 3. Radical 7 times radical 3 would be radical 21. And the last part to multiply, negative radical 3, we'll multiply that one twice to complete the FOIL process. Multiplying a negative radical 3, we'll have a minus or negative for the answer. Radical 3 times radical 7, multiplying would be radical 21. And multiplying a negative radical 3 times a positive radical 3, one negative would stay negative, and 3 times 3 will have radical 9 for the denominator. Simplifying from here, the numerator cannot be simplified. We have different radicals, radical 7 and radical 3, so that would stay the same. For the denominator, we have radical 49 or square root 49. Square root of 49 would be 7. The middle two terms, plus radical 21 minus radical 21. These are the same numbers but opposite signs. So a positive radical 21 and a negative radical 21 will cancel out. And we'll be left with minus radical 9. Taking the square root of 9, that would be minus 3. After multiplying again by the conjugate, simplifying, we do not have any more radicals or square roots in the denominator. Having radicals and square roots in the numerator is okay. So the numerator would be 8 radical 7 plus 8 radical 3. And the denominator, 7 minus 3, would be 4. So our final answer, 8 radical 7 plus 8 radical 3, all over 4.